All right, so I'm naming this video The Woman at the Well, and you're going to find out why as you listen. So you can watch the video as you listen, or you can just not watch the video and listen. But either way, I'm about to tell you a story. So when I was 14, I was SA'd. I'm using that terminology because I don't know how this works with censoring certain words and if it'll get my video taken down. So I'm just going to use the term SA'd. So when I was 14, I was SA'd. When it happened, I felt helpless and I started trying to heal myself, but I went about it the wrong way. I asked for help, but for some reason, it was nowhere to be found, or so I thought. The closest I got to help was one of my teachers noticing that there was something not right about me anymore. So she started sending me to the counselor. I'm going to be honest. I probably went a couple times, but I stopped going and I just started walking around the school. But that's neither here nor there. I stopped going. It didn't last for long because talking about it didn't make me feel better. I wanted my power back. So what did I do? I started deliberately engaging in that activity in efforts to heal myself. I think I thought if I just did it on my own, with my own will, that I would be able to take my power back that I felt was stolen from me. It wasn't with strangers, though. Let me just make that clear. It wasn't with strangers. I was actually building relationships with people, or I had like little mini relationships. But I did this for a whopping 10 years. It wasn't until the 9th year that I realized that I was in survival mode and could no longer walk this path. On the 9th year, while I was engaging in said activity with a guy I was actually in a relationship, I heard a scream come from inside of me. It was like my soul screamed out. It was like a loud, heart-wrenching cry, a desperate wail from inside of me. And I hopped up so fast, it scared the crap out of me. I hopped up and I said, I can't do this. And we just stopped. It took me 9 years to realize that I was in survival mode and trying to fix something that only the Lord could fix. But it took me 10 years to realize that it was the Lord that could fix it. After having dug myself so far in desperation, I realized I needed a real solution. And so I started praying and I started trying to get closer to God and asking him for help, not realizing that he was the answer the whole time. Towards the end of 2023, I was praying about who I am and I heard the woman at the well, and it just kept ringing. And it kept ringing in my conscience for a few days. And I didn't understand why until I really sat down and thought about who the woman at the well was. Which, I don't know if I said this already, but if you're trying to look this up, it's actually the Samaritan woman. She had multiple husbands. And she met Jesus at the well when she went to go get some water. And she ended up leaving the tangible water, she left the drinking water behind in her pail, and she ran into the city and she basically told everybody that she met a man who knew everything that she'd done, who told her everything that she'd done and offered her a drink of living water. In the story, she says, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water?"
Revelations chapter 12 verse 11 says, "And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death." So this is me running from that well and telling everybody I can tell my testimony. And so here it is.
I wondered for 10 years trying to fix sin with sin. I wondered for 10 years trying to regain a power that was always the Christ to give and restore. I met a man who knew everything I did and still chose to offer me freedom. I met a man who knew how filthy I felt in my search for redemption, and he redeemed me. I met a man who saw my heart, a man who saw how much pain I was in, and instead of condemning me, he traded the deep well of sin that I was drawing from to quench my thirst for moments at a time. He traded it for a drink of living water. He restored me. He gave me a chance. He took me out of the dark space I was in, and he'll do the same for you. Imagine my surprise when I realized I spent 10 years drawing from a deep well of carnal solutions to quench the depletion of my spirit, when all I had to say was, "Sir, give me this water so that I won't get thirsty and have to keep coming here to draw water." The enemy will have you to believe that any route outside of the living water will suffice. I want you to know that not everyone is drawing the same thing from out of the well. It could be anything that you are using to fill the void that Christ is intended to fill. There are some people out there that are smoking to get by. There are some people out there that are drinking to get by. There are people that are engaging in sexual activity to fill the void. There are just different things that people do. But whatever it is that you do to try to fill that void or try to gain confidence and gain your power and gain your control and gain your sense of importance, whatever it is that you are using to do that, it's what you're drawing from that well. And it's only going to work in the moment, for a moment, until you just have that moment where it just can't cut it anymore. It just won't get it anymore. What are you drawing from the well? Whatever you're drawing from the well, I want you to know that the Lord has some water for you. While people are standing around judging you, "Oh, look at him. He's always smoking. He's da-da-da-da-da. Look at her. She just be sleeping with people. Oh, look at them. They're over here doing this. Oh, look at his behavior. Look at her behavior. Look at how she does this. Look at how she does that." Yeah, they're running their mouth about you. But I know a man that offered me living water. And this same living water, he has it for you too. He sees your heart and he is there. He's willing. He's able. All you have to do is ask.